How's it going, everyone? KayneHunterTaker here, and this is just going to be an update video for my main KayneHunterTaker channel. And guess what? I finally got my new camera! Ta-da! Wow, I can already tell the difference just by looking at the preview screen. So much more is coming in, and I don't know how the quality actually looks right now. This is the first official test for this new camera, and oh, it was a journey to get this thing. But I tell you what, before we even get started with this update, because I've got a few things I want to talk about, we cannot forget about my little handy cam that I've been using for the last few years. My first camera when I started doing more vloggy videos. Then I moved to unboxings with this thing, because before it was like my phone, and then mind you, the unboxings was a webcam to begin with, and yeah, now I've started using the camera and it's so much more fun, and it was just time to upgrade to a new one, because this one unfortunately was falling apart. It did a really good job for these, you know, because originally I wanted to do, what was it? I think it was Double Trouble Adventures. I wanted to start filming more, like some skits, because I never really showed myself on the camera. It was more like, you know, just you'd see my hands unboxing things and never really actually saw my face. And I thought, you know what, it's time to, you know, come out of my little bubble and just start showing who I am. So I went to the shop and I'll just get a good, bought this little guy, and it did the job. I mean, I didn't want to spend so much. I think this was about 500, 400 in the end, and I split it with Luke because I thought, well, if we're going to be doing skits together, let's start buying equipment. But then he started using his phone more than anything, and I thought I'll keep with the handy cam, and it done its thing for me. It really did well, and you know, it was just what I needed to film everything. But yeah, when it started to fall apart, I couldn't charge with the USB cable, and I thought maybe it's the USB cable. No, it was something to do with this part here, so I couldn't charge it, so I ended up having to buy a battery charger. And I noticed that it was, how would I put it, like, I know it's probably the battery, but I would have charged the battery, and it probably was the battery actually, but I feel like it drained a bit more. And the biggest one, it wasn't so much a problem now that I upgraded to Windows 10, but the video footage wouldn't work with the audio. It was like it's an MTS file or something like that, and I'd have to put the footage through Audacity to get the audio. So that was another downside, but it did the trick for me, and it is now going to be retired, and I'm going to put it right over there. Sorry, I just got into, I'm fighting a sickness. I had a cold and I'm still fighting it. But yeah, I was basically saying, you know, I don't want to throw it. It's memories for me. I'm going to keep looking at it every now and again and go, that's what started me with my vloggy kind of stuff. And alrighty, all done talking about that, let's talk about my new camera. I've got I stuck with Panasonic because I haven't had any issues with Panasonic, apart from, you know, like just with that model, with certain things not being able to be, you know, done properly, like with editing software. But I never had problems with it. It never really sort of messed me up. And then, you know, unfortunately, yeah, couldn't charge it in the end. But I thought Panasonic has always been, you know, good for me. And originally it's a 4K one. I probably will use 4K when I'm filming, you know, Double Trouble Adventures, you know, with Luke. But for unboxings, I'm not going to stress myself with the 4K and making it, you know, crisp and all that crap. Yeah, 1080p is fine for me, and it's doing a perfect job at the moment. But yeah, I originally bought the camera on a website. I don't want to name the site because I don't want to start, you know, causing shit. But it was cheaper. I think it was, oh, how much was it in the end? I think it was $8.50 I paid for this one. But this site, I believe it was $7.99. It was under the 800s, if I remember, and I thought, that's a, you know, a good deal, considering like my local JBs were charging, it was almost like $1,000 for this brand, and I'd saved up the money and went over the limit anyway. I think I saved up to about 900, and I thought, alright, got my camera, this is the one I want. I did my research on it, is it going to be perfect for me? It was, and I went ahead and purchased it. Sorry, I went into a bit of coughing fit again. It's going to happen quite often in this video, unfortunately. But yeah, I went ahead and purchased it from this site, and everything seemed alright. 5 days later, about that, or maybe even 4 days, I got a message from them, or an email, saying that this particular camera is out of stock. And I went, oh yeah, of course, you know, it's me. I mean, I had problems with my new tower, of course this was going to happen, so I said, no worries, you know. They offered me to, you know, go with a refund if I didn't want to wait, and they said late September. This was September I ordered this camera. You know, what month is it now? November. September, it may have been late August, because they told me late September, and I thought, oh, that's a month away. It was something around the lines. I do remember it's something 4 months is telling me that's how long I've been waiting. It feels like that anyway. But yeah, I got the message and they said, oh, mid to late September. That's right, yeah. It was right at the end of August. And I said, no worries, fine, I'll wait. Mid-September came, and I checked their site, and even when I punched the camera in to Google and their site would pop up, it would say in stock. I went, okay, they probably, you know, shipped my order. So I checked my order and I noticed it was still in processing or that random crap, and I thought, alright, I'll email them. They probably, you know, sometimes they, you know, you get forgotten, and they said, oh no, sorry, it's still out of stock. I went, what? It says in stock. Or can you take it off then and say that it's out of stock? So I thought, alright, I'll wait. Mid passes, late September passes, it's October. It says in stock again. I typed it in stock, and I said, alright, where's the camera? You know, I've been waiting a month now. It says it's in stock, where is it? Didn't get a message. So I said, alright, I'll wait 24 hours. Messaged again, still nothing. So then I said, right, cancel my order, I want a refund, I'm not waiting any longer, I refuse. Ignored me again. So then I went to PayPal, I said, look, I want to cancel my order, put my money back in, I don't want to torture them anymore, I just want to get my money back, move on to something else, like another site. It was like 5 minutes later, it was a very short window from after I emailed PayPal or requested the refund. Your refund's been approved, there you go, here's your money. So clearly the site didn't give a shit. They had no intention of sending this camera. They just advertising this stock, and then they punch in the order. Right, this is how many we need. Get the third company, party company, whatever it's called, to send us their order, and then we'll ship them now. So I thought, alright, that's it. I was kicking myself, because originally this camera, no, I went through the one before this one, and then I found out that the price for this camera on Amazon for the one before this one was cheaper on this site, and that's why I went with the 4K. So I had it in my mind I wanted the 4K one now, and I thought I was excited for it. I did all my research. Amazon, it was about $50 or $100 more. I should have probably researched this, but this is a spur of the moment update. You know, I just thought I'd talk about it, you know, the pain and suffering I had to go through for this camera. And it was a bit more dearer than what I thought, but I had the money saved, so I said, right, I want this camera, ordered it. Unfortunately, Amazon, they said it'd take about 1 to 2 months to ship. And I thought, oh, if I'd done this to begin with, I wish I just stuck with my gut and stuck with Amazon instead of going, I mean, you try and do the right thing and go through these companies, and, you know, instead of going through a major corporation like Amazon that, you know, takes a bit of the profit, or not the profit, but you know what I mean, it's like you sell through Amazon and they take a bit of the revenue, no, not the revenue, what's the term I'm thinking of, you know, some of the payment, if you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But if you went through the site, you kind of give them, you know, the full profit. Well, never fucking again. Not with this hassle I went through, unfortunately. And yeah, so I thought, oh wait, I'm no rush. I was filming all my Halloween stuff. Don't worry, I'm going to be talking about that very soon after this. I thought I'll get the rantish bit out of the way first. And yeah, the months went by, did all my Halloween stuff, so I wasn't really thinking about the camera when it was going to arrive. And then it was last week, which was November 6th or something, around that time. Got an email from Amazon. Your order has been dispatched. And at the time I thought I forgot. I was like, oh, what did I order from Amazon? And then I realised, oh, my camera is finally coming. So finally got dispatched, and it was between a month and a bit. So it wasn't the 2 months, which I'm happy about. I thought that was my phone then. Someone just popped in the shower. We need to get our pipes checked. Whenever we turn the thing, it's like, oh jeez, oh, coughing fit again. So yeah, I was excited. My camera's finally been dispatched, and I thought, oh, with Amazon and this pandemic, it might take a while. And come like 4 days, here it is. I'm ready to use it. And sorry, I know, I love you, buddy. Don't take it to heart. You're a good camera. So yeah, long story short, finally got the camera after bullshit from one site, and done now. I'm happy. Got my camera, and I am set for everything. I got my new computer, got my new tower, still going strong. I updated all my recording software. I bought a retro ting so I can record, you know, my PS2 and all that, which I've been really, you know, successful with. I've been very happy about. And then I went out of my way because I got my tax refund. I bought an updated Elgato. You know, I got the 4K one, so everything is good now. I've got all my updated stuff, which I shouldn't have to do for many years to come now, and I'm excited to start using this new camera. Alright, on to the, you know, the fun, good stuff. Yeah, I was really happy with Halloween this year, and the reason I wanted to talk about it was because I broke my record. I recorded about 26 hours worth of footage this time, and I'm very happy with the games that I picked. I went out of my comfort zone this time and really played some games that would really scare me instead of playing it safe and, you know, oh, I'm technically playing a scary game even though it's for children. It's in Halloween, so no, I went out of my way, and I was really happy with some of the games that I played. But unfortunately, right at the end, and this is why I'm in a coughing fit now, I picked up a cold, and yeah, it was pretty scary because it's my month off now. I'm off for a month from work, and I still haven't got to doing my yearly cleanup. I'm going to be doing that next week. The only reason I held off because my lungs are still hairy from the cold, so I don't want to dust everything, and it's like like I'm doing in the middle of this video. But I had to get a test for COVID because I took my temperature right on the last day of my work. It was my last day, then my holiday, and I started getting the symptoms, and I thought, oh, it's nothing. Took a temperature, it was over 38, the highest it went to 38.4, and it was 10 minutes for 2 hours checking, it wasn't going down. I woke up Mum and Luke, I said, get up, check your temperatures right now, this temperature thingy, or thermometer's lying, it's full of shit telling me I'm sick. They took their temperatures, it was under 36 or 37, which is the normal limit. I'm like, so yeah, had to ring work. 7-year streak of never calling in sick at work, never having a sick day, broken, because I run work, and see, because I haven't rung in sick for so long, I didn't know the procedure for it, because, you know, some people do take the piss when it comes, you know, there's always one person or a couple of people at every job, you know, that take the piss when trying to call in sick, and it seems to be like they always fallen sick on the hardest parts of, you know, the week, and I was like, help, I need help. Who do I talk to? Do I talk to my facility manager? Do I talk to the head nurse? Do I talk to my roster person? Because I work in, like I said, not like in this video, but I have, you know, I work in care facilities, so when this shit happens, it's like, who do we talk to first? And that kind of thing. So originally I couldn't get on anyone on the line. I'm like, someone talk to me. What's going on? So I got through the reception area, and I said, please help. I just blew like I've taken a breathalyzer, a 38.4 reading, which is danger. I can't come into work. I need to talk to someone, and ironically, my boss, my manager, she was actually in a meeting to discuss the precautions of if there's an outbreak in the facility. So what a sense of irony. So that's why I couldn't get a hold of her. So I finally got through to my roster, like the person who's in charge of the rosters, and then I explained the whole thing. I said, you're never going to believe this. I got a 38.4 reading, and I'm like, you're kidding. Oh geez, you know, everything alright? And I said, I'm in a bit of a mess right now, because, excuse me, I don't want to cut it there because I'm on a roll. I don't think we've had a reading yet. I think I'm the first one in the facility that's rated a 38.4, so I was in a bit of a, you know, I mean, I wasn't like, it was more like a, oh look, what do I do? What do I do? I'm in a state right now, like, it's my last day, and in the end it was like a bit of a joke. It's like, oh, right on my last day as well, and they're all like, oh, you're kidding, right? oh, of course it's your last day and you're calling in sick, but they know that, you know, me and Luke, if we call in sick, it means we're very sick. And even the person on reception was like, you sound horrible, what did you do? What's happened to you? And yeah, normally when I get sick, it really hits me because I go so long without it, and then it's like, oh, guess what? So then after all that, you know, Luke had to still go into work, so I was like, up yours. So I started my holiday early, and yeah, they got it all sorted, and they said, look, rest up, you know, you'll be fine, don't panic. And then funny enough, you know, like 5 seconds after I ended the call, my manager rang me because, you know, I'm frantically trying to call her, like, what's going on, and then the reception person's obviously informed her, you know, oh, you know, Liam's in a bit of a, you know, situation. So she's rung me up and see, you gotta let the manager know, but because I technically didn't, she had to, like, she wanted to ring me just to confirm, is everything alright? And she goes, oh, what's up? What's going on? Oh, you know, you're alright? And I said, I've got a 38.4 reading, and she's like, you're joking, what's going on? And I said to her, look, I'm very sorry, I mean, because we try and call in as far as, like, early as we can, because my shift starts at 4, and I finally got it, like, rung up at about 10, so, you know, time's of the essence, you know, you've got to be quick. And I explained to her, I said, look, for 2 hours I've been taking my temperature every 10 minutes, I woke up my family to get them checked, and the thermometer is telling the truth, and I just thought, look, I had to make the call, and just, I'm sorry that it's caused a bit of a commotion. And she said, look, don't worry, it's fine. You got to go to the, because of the, like, because our, I don't know if anywhere else, but because we work in aged care, as soon as you get a 38.4, that's it. You do not come into work until you get a test and that it's negative. And if it is positive, you're off for 2 weeks no matter what, you know, that's it. You're not coming into work. So she said, you know, let me know, you know, make sure you get tested and then message me when you do get the test. Oh, there's another one. And so, yeah, I could finally breathe, because mind you, I was more pissed off that I broke my streak. I thought, oh, you know, of course, last day and I've got to call in sick. So, yeah, I could finally breathe, got that all covered, so I didn't have to go into work. That was all set in stone, done. So then I'm ringing the doctor. I said, look, I've got a high temperature reading, it's in the 38s, I need to get a COVID test. So then they told me where to go and get it taken, and whew, it's bloody creepy, because you've got to go in, this is just where the facility is, but it's like, when you go in and everyone's all suited up, and it's kind of scary, you know, you think this is real shit right now. And, you know, spoiler alert, I haven't got it, you know, just to let everyone know if you care. And yeah, so they said, oh, you know, what can we do, like, come on in, come through. Oh, I was going to say, oh, what can we do for you? They already knew I was coming, because you got to message them when you're ready to go. So then obviously, you know, sitting here, it's a normal doctor's routine, you know, how you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling crap. I've got a high reading, so I need to get the, you know, the test. And yeah, they're basically, you know, just the normal questions, you know, oh, do you work in aged care, which is very important, they need to know to start alerting, you know, the higher authorities that, oh shit, an aged care has probably been compromised with, you know, COVID and stuff. And the worst part about it, they say they got the, you know, thermometer on the finger, taking my temperature, and, you know, I thought that's fine. And they had to do the swab in the mouth and the tonsils, and that was no big deal, because I get bad tonsil, like stones. I always check, you know, every week, you know, get a cotton bud, make sure I've got no stones, because that can cause tonsillitis, I believe. It has happened to me before, or maybe I just got sick at the same time. So that was no problem. It's like, then a little prongy metal skewer with little feathers on right up my nose, and it's like, it was like a factory reset. That was the worst bit. And I mean, call me a baby, but that was no, it was almost like they touched my brain. So I got that out, and it got the bit of the like bit of the jitters, and she said, no, you're all done, we'll let you know as soon as possible. So I said, thank you very much, I'm out of here, I'm going to bed, and I'm going to watch some TV and play games all day, which I did. I think I played Metal Max all day, that tank game, really fun game, I like that one. And now the next day rolls up, you're tested negative. I know, I've already said the spoiler, but yeah, I didn't have COVID or Corona, so yeah, it got real for a minute. I thought, oh my god, holy shit. And then because, you know, my mum's up there in age, I stayed in my room. I'm ringing the phone, like the home phone. I said, are you awake? Yeah, can you come here? Well, don't come in here. Stay in front of, out of my door and get Luke right now, because I'm in some shit. I think I might have COVID. You know, but yeah, I don't have it. Thank God for that. And yeah, that's my unfortunate, you know, my last day. Broke my streak of not calling in sick. Thought I had corona, so that was a hell of a day. But yeah, the next week or so, I just rested up, was drinking Gatorade and Lucozade to try and, you know, flush the sickness out of me, and I just chilled out basically. And you know, I had a month off. It was perfect. And funny enough, I actually did a lot of gardening. You know, ripping out weeds, making sure plants are all, you know, nice and healthy, just to get my mind off the sickness and get a bit of sun, which, you know, is always nice to do. I'm always so pale, never leave my room. But yeah, that's it about that. And just give me a minute while I think about what else I was supposed to talk about. Tell you what, just bring it on Halloween again, and then my story sort of went over to the COVID bit. Yeah, I did really well with, I was very happy with Halloween this year. I managed to do a full run of Resident Evil 2, you know, AB of Leon and Claire, and that was my big sort of, you know, finale of like that year, and or this year I should say. I was very happy with it, but there was a few more games I wanted to do, and then because I got sick I was like, oh damn it, I wanted to do The Grudge for the Wii. That's such a fun game, you know, to play, especially if you want to get scared. I mean, the problem is if you've played it, you got to wait a long time, so you forget everything. And mind you, I never really completed it. I remember me and Luke picked it up. We were well, I brought it on. See, we had the Wii and we were in TAFE. It was, I think it was we were watching people. I think it was 4-player. We were watching there, and one of them was playing The Grudge. If that is, yes, because then after TAFE we went into Game Traders. And we picked up a copy, so then we all had everyone from TAFE over one night, and we just played it all night, which was, you know, really fun. So that'll be next year, hopefully. And another it ruined Halloween this year, like being sick, and then the pandemic, obviously, you know, people stressed out about going out and, you know, door knocking. So we just made it easier on everyone this year. You know, if I'm sick, I'm not gonna spread it to people. We just put a bowl of candy out, put a sign up, look, we don't want to stress anyone out. Here's some candy. Take, you know, we said, look, take 2 to 3 pieces, whatever you fancy. You know, but just be, you know, don't be greedy. You know, be sensible. We're allowing you. Don't break our trust. And we do have cameras, so we're watching. And yeah, and we just had a bottle of sanitizer next to the bowl. So, you know, the parents are in, you know, they're what's that word? Assuring. You know, they're happy to allow their kids to grab some candy, and they were able to, you know, sanitize their hands so they don't risk getting sick. So yeah, it was good in the end. Oh yeah, we ordered pizza, and I just watched scary movies all night. You know, good times. And yeah, that's it for that quick one. I'll tell you what, my big cleanup. Tell you what, I don't know what I want to do this year. I'm actually really happy with the way it looks. I got so many things that I'm happy to keep displayed. Funny enough, I love that Vampirella, it's so gorgeous. I actually ordered another Vampirella. The comic shop got that that bust one. It's like she's posing and the blood's raining down and it's forming her suit. It's really cool, so I thought, oh, I'd like that one, that's really awesome. So I might put her, like that one, her, shut up, don't judge me. I'll put her away and I'll have her, like the new one, and so she can have a break. I'm going to put that Leon away, and I might bring out Jill's Resident Evil 3 remake statue and, you know, replace that one. I'm going to butcher them. Bishijo. I'm definitely going to keep them too. They're really awesome. Red Sonja Stain, definitely, and the Terminators. Kerrigan. Stormtrooper I might put away for, you know, it was cool at the time. Like, I like the Scout Trooper, but it's very weird. The arm kind of keeps popping off. I don't know if I've put it in properly, but I'm scared to break it, so yeah, I might replace that. I got my new Ray statue that looks really cool from Sideshow Collectibles. Definitely going to keep her. I managed to get a spot in for her. But then over here is a lot of like sealed stuff. but it just kind of got cluttered in the way. See if I can show. So yeah, it's a lot of like box stuff, so I need to do a bit of rearranging. I put a cube to one. Can you see? There. I need to, you know, reorganise that. Oh, I just remembered another thing I wanted to talk about. Now that I got my new camera, I'm going to do my Yu-Gi-Oh folders are up there. Can you see? Right there. All my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and all that stuff. Now that I got my new camera, I can finally do an updated vlog on my collection. I can't wait. I'm really excited. There's a couple of special edition games up there. I felt like me and Luke, we've got a retro shop that we go to now, like for video games, and they do, you know, trade in and stuff. I might consider giving stuff away. I've got the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition. I mean, it was really cool at the time, but I'm more Elder Scrolls, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm talking, and it's like nothing there. Hang on, give me a minute. Yeah, get you back there. And yeah, it was a really fun time. Everyone was all over Fallout 4 and, you know, staying up all night to get the Pip-Boy edition. But I'm Elder Scrolls. I love those games so much more than Fallout. I did love Fallout New Vegas. That's like #1 in the series in my opinion. But I might trade it in and, you know, put it towards some credit for the retro store, because yeah, they got some really cool stuff in there. So I'll, you know, I'll give something away and, you know, replace it with something else. So yeah, I'm thinking, and I might even include the game as well, because I haven't finished it. I only got a little bit of the way, and I just thought, maybe I'll finish it first and then I'll do that before I, you know, give it away, because I do have the game and I do have it sealed, and well, not sealed, but I bought a plastic protector for it, so I'll put it in with that as well to protect it. Honestly, I'm considering the 2K series because I've been so disappointed with that. Like, I don't know, it's memories at the end of the day. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that, you know, that I've left in the box that are really cool. I'm probably going to move them out now. I like the WWF, you know, I'm watching the network, but WWE just doesn't do it for me anymore. But I love AEW, so, but I don't think I'll be buying figures, if you know what I mean. I'm going to move them and I'll put something else here. So we'll see what happens there. The Predator squad ain't moving. I love that squad, they're really awesome. I even got the aliens. Yeah, we've got Dutch from Predator, actually. I don't think you could ever see Ripley. She's right next to Dutch. And then we got, you know, Hudson and Hicks, you know, the two awesome guys in Aliens. It's funny that no other character got a figure. And I got the Venom squad as well still there. I love them as well, they're really cool. And yeah, just a load of pop vinyls. It's the fun part for me, is just taking everything off and then rearranging it. It's always so much fun. And I've got to go through my games. I mean, it's cluttered to hell. Now, I mean, I actually got to do a vlog on that. Actually, I got some games to talk about coming up. Well, after this, when I film this anyway. And yeah, that's, I think, talked about the COVID scare. Broke my streak of sick days. I'm pissed about. New camera. Talked about the Halloween. Talked about reorganised stuff. Just last, I'm trying to make an excuse to film as much as I can for this test video. I finally got some more grey spray paint. I'm going to start painting again because we ran out of this stuff, and we try and, you know, you spray this on the little miniatures for, did I say Resident Evil board game? I don't think I did, but yeah, now I've got some more figures to paint, and the Resident Evil 3 one, you know, is coming up. I don't know when, but that'll be coming out very late soon, I should say. But excuse me, I haven't done any, you know, painting video. Oh, that snuck out of nowhere. That's cheeky. But yeah, so now I can finally, because I got the alligator, I got the final 2 expansions to do. Mind you, I did have a load of zombies to paint, but I really want to do the alligator. It's going to be so much fun. So yeah, finally got some spray. And I think that is it for this test video. Or update, I should say. And yeah, I'll end it there because I'm about to, you know, record a games vlog, which, you know, I don't know when this will be uploaded, but my schedule's always shit, unfortunately. I only just started editing a playthrough that I finished last year. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you later. Hey everyone, I completely forgot to talk about something that I've been really excited about. I can't believe I actually forgot. I want to talk about my revamped sort of, not wrestling, but fighting series, Bloody Knuckle Society. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll put some, the episode 1 I just uploaded to my Punisher Midas channel, so I'll put some in the background while I'm talking, because, yeah, like I said, I completely forgot to talk about it, which, you know, shocks me, I can't believe it. But, yeah, I, finally broke through my, what's that term? You know, that block? Not like writer's block, almost like creator's block. You know, for the past 3-4 years, I've been doing a show, like EWS was my wrestling series, and yeah, created all these characters and this whole show, and by the end of it, I only ended up getting a month's worth of, you know, story done, and I just got really, you know, burnt out on it really quickly. And well, not quickly, but it took 3 years to upload, you know, 4 or 5 episodes, and it was mainly because I just wasn't happy with the way it looked. I kind of bit myself, or what's that term? I'm a bit struggling tonight. What's that term? You kick your you bite your, I've actually forgotten what it's, the term, you know, where you've set yourself up for something big, and then it's like, oh shit, bit off more than I could chew kind of deal. And the main thing was, I was making the episodes so long, and then I was putting stories into the episodes, and ended up being so long. I mean, some of the stories were longer than, like, the dialogue, and like the story was longer than the matches, and then even the matches, it was like trying to plan them out, and they just, in the end, they all look sloppy. I'll be trying to set up a move, and then it's like, oh no, didn't work out. And it's just, that's the game itself, like, that I was using. I went from like 2K16, 17, 18 to even 19, and yeah, it just seemed to get worse and worse. But I tell you what, the one game that I really did enjoy with my EWS series was 2K18. I loved how everyone looked. It just felt, you know, like my creation was alive. But I just, since 2K19, see, in general, I was just not happy with the games, and 2K19 kind of pushed me over the edge a little bit, especially when I was trying to make my wrestlers, you know, look good, but some just looked awful. I don't know what it was. I mean, I'll talk about Midas. It just had this weird sort of fat lip going on, and I couldn't fix it no matter what. It's almost like trout mouth. It was really weird. So I went back to 2K18, and then I was going to record some footage. I thought, you know, I've made a decision. I did bare knuckle brawl, and I've got to the pay-per-view, so I'm happy. At least I can sort of end it there, I don't know, and finish up some stories. But yeah, when I went back to 2K18, I just didn't want to pick it up again, and yeah, EWS just sort of went on, you know, it got shelved basically, and yeah, left it for about a month or two, and then even then it was like, yeah, just not feeling it. And then yeah, a year and a half later, I got the spark again, and I don't know where it come from. It was just, excuse me, still got a coughing fit. So I don't know what kicked it off. It was around about the same time, like, some video games I was really struggling with. I just hated the fact that they looked so real rather than a video game, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it was around about that time. I thought, you know, I really love sort of, like, my cup of tea of a video game. It's got to be quick, it's got to be a good gameplay with a bit of story and cutscene put in, and I always was a fan of, like, cel shaded, bright colours, like a cartoon / comic. I love those kind of video games, and that's why I still love to this day so many old school video games. I did a run of Tekken, and it just felt good to me. Like, this was, you know, I would rather play that than the latest Tekken, if you know what I mean. So yeah, going a bit ahead there. So the whole idea of me was like, that's what I want. That's for my wrestling series. That is what I want. I need to figure out how to do that. So then I spent a couple of days going through every wrestling game that I owned. I started with, you know, I didn't do SmackDown 1 and 2 because let's be honest, KHT Suite was a bit bland. Just Bring It was out of the question. There was no way I was using it. Shut Your Mouth. I didn't realise how lacking the KHT Suite was in those early games. You didn't really care back then, unfortunately. But yeah, then I kind of skipped a few games. I went on to SmackDown vs Raw, and yeah, again, the KHT Suite was very bare minimal for, you know, my kind of crew like that I want. You know, it's like, you know, I have vampires, I have lizard like people, like Slifer is a lizard, he's like Reptile from Mortal Kombat, and I should really elaborate that in an episode. My Bloody Knuckle Society is a supernatural, even, it's just like things from out of this world. You know, Lilith is an Amazon, she's a real Amazon. I got another wrestler who is also an Amazon, haven't debuted her yet, funny enough. Slifer I brought up, he's a rookie, he's just been brought in with, you know, Liam, Aria and Brad. He's a lizard, he's actually a lizard, he can spit, you know, like slime out of his gob and blind people. Reaper, he lives in the underworld. You know, you see where I'm getting at? This is where a big, you know, problem with me with EWS. Originally, you know, I had vampires and all these creatures and mythical beings, but then I thought, I want to make it into a drama story, so that shit can't happen. So everyone was a human, and then they were just gimmicking these creatures. So that was where a big of my inspiration disappeared. I thought, my imagination's gone. That's not what I wanted. And yeah, that was another big reason I sort of didn't want to go back to EWS. But then going back on the subject on the Creation Suite. So yeah, the SmackDown games unfortunately weren't doing it for me. I went to WrestleMania No Mercy for the N64. Again, I was really close to doing No Mercy. I made a few characters. I did Kane, Morgan, and Titan, if I remember, and I was pretty happy. I thought, oh, this is good. But then it was like, I can't really plan out what I want. I can't. It's some of the matches I don't want pins, and this is where I've got a little bit sort of, you know, worked my way around to making this into a more fighting game rather than a wrestling game. And so basically, you know, Bloody Knuckle Society is KO and submissions. There is no pins, and I'm really happy with how that is and the way I've sort of edited that. But anyway, back onto the creation side. Yeah, No Mercy got cut right at the end. I thought, nah, I can't do it. I just wasn't feeling it. I almost was there. And there was also that thing with the save glitch. I didn't want to risk doing that, unfortunately. I think if you had the expansion pack, you were fine. So I sat on it a little bit and see. I just remembered what kicked me off. I was looking over at a drawing I've got pinned on my wall, and I'm thinking, I should do some drawings tonight. I picked up the drawing tablet again and started drawing some sketches because, funny enough, I went on a hiatus from drawing. I just didn't feel like drawing anymore. I picked up a new drawing tablet and I started sketching some of my wrestlers. I got such a close bond with my characters, and you know, for all these years, and they haven't gone away. See, the game and that went away, but my characters never left. I always, you know, you'll see them in my playthroughs. You know, I've brought in, you know, obviously KayneHunterTaker is me, obviously, but I brought in Lilith. She's the Amazon Dragonborn. You know, that's the inspiration for that character. I made Rain for Dragon Ball Xenoverse. You know, she was the inspiration for that sort of playthrough. So you can see where I'm coming from. The characters haven't left me. So that's what I'm, you know, happy about. So yeah, I just started drawing some characters and doing some rough sketches to, you know, beat the drawing rust. And yeah, I've been pretty happy at the moment with some of the drawings I've been doing. And that's when I got the idea. I thought, how can I make it look like that? My drawings, I want it to look like that. You know, comic-y, toony, blah blah blah. So I went back to... So I had the mindset. I thought, this is what I want. This is what I want for my new revamped series. And I typed it into Google. Any wrestling games that aren't WWE or 2K licensed. And I found this game called Shakira... Sorry if I get this wrong. Shakira Arcade Wrestling. And it was an indie wrestling show. It's been going on for many, many years, and there's a video game around it, and it was perfect. I looked at it and I thought, that's what I want. That is the graphic style that I like. It's like cel shaded, it's bright, it's solid colouring, there's no like special toned effects to try and bring out real life features. This was what I wanted. And then I found out the creation suite was a little bit... I managed to make KayneHunterTaker, and it took a long time to try and... Because I got a bit of an advantage. The way you can do a default creation like character with the stuff that they give you, but you can actually take what's called a pelt of the model that you're creating, and you can paint over it. I spent 2009, 2012, sorry, 10 over 3 years in college learning 3D modeling, graphics design, all that stuff, and I actually learned how to do that, like pelting a 3D model. I mean, they've already done it for you, so you just save the PNG file and you do what you want, but I learned how to do that kind of thing, so I knew what I should be colouring in and that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm hyping it up as if it's really hard. It's really not, but basically I was familiar in that area. I thought, oh yeah, that's definitely me, I can do that. And then it's like, then I've got to take all these screenshots of all my wrestlers and then bring them over and try and fit them in, and then it got a bit tedious in the end. I thought, damn it, I was so close. But I like the idea of this game, like the style was really beautiful. I loved it. This is exactly what I wanted. So then it was like, I got what I want exactly for it. I have my characters. I have, the idea of what I want. How am I going to do it? I booted up 2K18 again just to, have a kind of demo of the what I wanted to do, and got the footage. I found out that the Premiere I have has this filter, this comic filter. And I thought, that looks interesting. So I slapped it on. I fell in love with it. It looked amazing. I did the test demo with Kane and Dwayne, and it was a very rough sort of concept video, but it was exactly what I was looking for. And I finally got my spark again to make this new series. And then, bear in mind, it took me a while to come up with a name. I didn't want to do Extreme Wrestling Society. I wanted to move away from the wrestling side. It's still technically wrestling, but I wanted it to be more combat and fighting. And then it's like the extreme part, I thought, it's very redundant, if you know what I mean. It's like everything's extreme, and then it's like, ECW is the only, to me, Extreme Wrestling, I forgot the name, Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, they will always have that extreme title, and I thought, I don't want to be in that kind of shadow, so let's try and come up with a new name. And so many names later, I finally come up with Bloody Knuckle Society, and that is because I was inspired by games like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, all these fighting games that I grew up playing, and I thought the way that I've made this reminded me of those games, and that's when I thought Bloody Knuckle Society. And then I kept the Society. I always loved the name Society, so the name was born. The art side was done. I was happy with that. And then my favourite part of the whole thing was, how do I make it not so bland? I started cutting the clips down. I thought, I won't have the whole match playing. I'll record episode 1, Titan vs Colossus, took an hour recording, and I chopped it down to 10 minutes, taking the best bits. I sped up the footage so it felt like an arcade look to it, rather than, a punch takes, my video, it's like bam, bam, slam, bam, you know, it's non-stop action. I mean, I do put a bit of break in between, so it's not so you can breathe. But then, you know, I've added sound effects. I got some sound effects off YouTube, and yeah, it was I forget the name. Load of punching sound effects, and yeah, he said it was free to use, and I thought I'll better, you know, link all that just to say where I got them from. And yeah, it's just started adding special sound effects, like for each. Originally, like episode 1, I wasn't going to do every little thing, but then I decided, you know, every punch and move, I should add a bit of a sound effect to it. So whenever a big move happens, it's like a slam, slam, bam. And my favorite part about this whole thing, a finisher KOs your opponent. I made a big explosion, so whenever you pull the move off, it's like BAM, and a white flash happens to indicate that it was a finishing move, and then KO appears on the screen. And I sat back and I thought, done. I finally got my new fighting series or new wrestling series, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I was very excited that as soon as I got that idea, I went through the whole game of 2K18 with my wrestlers, updated their appearances. I took this opportunity to revamp it as well. A lot of stories I got rid of and changed. The biggest one is the rookies. Originally, they jumped the barricade. Well, Midas jumped the barricade, attacked Manic because he wanted to get into the show, but he was like, oh, well, how am I going to do that? And Edward said to him, if you do this, jump into that ring and punch the biggest dude, I will give you a shot, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, all right, I'll do that. But then Manic is pissed off that this young kid, you know, jumped the barricade and punched him and cost him the match. So then the whole story is like, oh, well, you know, you're being selfish, you're trying to do this thing. And it's like, I kind of kept the story, but in the end, his sister Morgan's career was put on the line. Manic said, right, if you lose, she's gone, blah, 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 which wasn't the case. He just did that to mess with their feelings. And so I kept that bit, but what I changed is that Edward is the president rather than, you know, making the matches, and Rue is now the leader. So I kind of messed that all up. Rue's not the president anymore. She's the leader of the Guardians, and Edward is now the president of Bloody Knuckle Society. And so basically I have changed a lot of stuff, but I've kept most of the stories because I thought, well, I was happy with that story, I don't want to change it. But yeah, I thought I'll take the opportunity and just revamp it all. And yeah, that is Bloody Knuckle Society. I'm going to end it quick because I'm on my last battery and I didn't mean to talk for this long, but as you can see, I was very excited about this new series, and I'm not going to push myself this time. I'm going to try and keep the episodes short. I still want to tell a story, so I'll make sure So instead of like 5 pages of dialogue in the background, I'll squish it down to 1 page and work around that. And hopefully the videos won't be longer than an hour, because that was a big killer for me, making them 2 hours, and it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. So yeah, I'm really happy, and every day I'm just adding a little bit to it at a time. I'll add a bit of story to the dialogue, I'll add in a couple of matches, and I'm going to try and keep this sort of like a monthly thing. I'll upload 1 video hopefully, and yeah, that's it. Alrighty, that's Bloody Knuckle Society. I didn't mean to, like I said, I didn't mean to keep going on and on, and then I've gone again. This is how excited I am for it. Yeah, thank you all for watching. We'll end it there. Very excited, and yeah, I will see you all later.